Morning, my arch nemesis. So we meet again. Fuck you, morning. Fuck you too. This exchange goes on and on as I get ready for the day. Fuck you, morning. Fuck you too. Until finally, I slap the morning in the face with my favorite warm beverage, a cup of delicious coffee. Fuck you, morning. I was always a night owl. I routinely stayed up until 2 a.m. and despite feeling like a sack of shit in the mornings, I didn't think too much of it. I'm not a morning person, I told myself. So what if my sleep schedule is a little different? It's just sleep. Just sleep. How arrogant. How naive. Sleep was always a secondary thought for me. Until one day, I saw this.
Men who sleep 5 hours a night have significantly smaller testicles than those who sleep 7 hours or more.
Oh, trust me, it gets worse.
It's cancer of the bowel, cancer of the prostate, and cancer of the breast. Lack of sleep will even erode the very fabric of biological life itself. It's a silent sleep loss epidemic. Lack of sleep will age a man by a decade.
Oh my God. I'm 75 years old. You might say I'm unreasonably worried about my health. And you'd be right. But one thing is for sure. When I get going, I research the hell out of things. So that's exactly what I did. I listened to podcasts, read articles, and dissected studies to get to the bottom of things. Here's what I found. Sleep is inevitable. All animals sleep, but we are the only ones that forgot how to do it. And because nature never had to deal with the consequences of deliberate sleep deprivation, we didn't evolve with the capacity to overcome it either. Our immune system gets compromised, we cannot focus, we cannot learn, we make bad decisions, and the list goes on and on. Libido, strength, cardiovascular disease, dementia, diabetes, depression, anxiety, you get the point. Sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's like water. So it's crucial that we get it right. But how do we get it right? Let's get the most obvious out of the way. If you are a healthy adult, you need at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. There's a tiny subset of the population who doesn't need this much, but that's incredibly rare, so let's agree that you need 7 to 9 hours. With that out of the way, there are 4 main elements in creating healthy sleeping habits. Light, temperature, regularity, and caffeine. To understand how these interact with your sleep, first we need to look at how Mother Nature does it. There's a phenomenon in nature called Circadian Rhythm. It's basically your body clock. Your body predicts different phases of the day to get the most out of the available resources, such as sunlight or food. The ability to predict when these resources are available during a 24-hour period proved to be a huge advantage during evolution. So huge, in fact, that almost all living organisms today have a circadian cycle. It dictates the release of hormones in your body's temperature, and your rate of metabolism. And yes, it dictates when you wake up in the morning or feel sleepy in the evening. But how on earth does your body know what time it is? Here is the fun part. It doesn't. Your body by itself has no idea what time it is. It uses external cues like temperature, light, and darkness to synchronize your internal clock with the outside world. You see where I'm going with this. Does this look like a good cue for my body to decipher what time it is? Or maybe this one? How about this one? Yeah, probably not. So how can I send the right signals for my body to know what's going on? The good news is that there is terrific data on the subject. The bad news? I will have to make some serious changes to my behavior. Let's start with my personal favorite, courtesy of Dr. Andrew Huberman, morning sun viewing. Here's how it works. First thing in the morning, you go outside, turn towards the sun when it is at a low solar angle, and just let the light pass through your retina. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. On sunny days, you do this for 5 to 10 minutes, and on cloudy days, 15 to 30 minutes. It shouldn't be painful. If it is, you have to adjust your gaze accordingly. It shouldn't come as a surprise that you need to do the exact opposite of this before your bedtime. You want to dim all your lights in your apartment to allow the sleep hormone melatonin to build up in your system. Also, try not to use computers and phones in these crucial few hours before your sleep, as unfortunately, those are great at disrupting your natural melatonin production, waking you up in the process. If you really must use your devices, you can somewhat mitigate their effects by watching the sunset. The descending sun is a really powerful signal to your brain that nighttime is approaching. Next up, we have temperature control. Your body changes your temperature as you arrive at different phases of the day, and just as we did with the light signals, we want to help your body with these changes. In the morning, you will want to increase your core body temperature. One way to do this is through exercise. It doesn't have to be your main exercise for the day, just a brisk walk, a jog, or something else that gets your heart pumping. For the ambitious ones out there, there's also another way. A cold shower, provided that it's a short duration, will increase your core body temperature. Your body will naturally compensate for the cold it experiences on the outside of your skin by warming up the inside of your body. Subsequently, your body needs to drop its temperature by about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 to 2 degrees Celsius in order to fall asleep and stay asleep. To really nail the temperature aspect of sleep, you want your bedroom to be cooler than room temperature, ideally somewhere between 63 to 66 degrees Fahrenheit or 17 to 19 degrees Celsius. If you're too cold, you can always use a warm blanket, but if it's too warm, your body has no options for cooling down. If you tend to wake up in the middle of the night, chances are your room is too warm. This brings us to the third element on our list, regularity. Going to bed at the same time every day and waking up at the same time every day helps the body regulate its processes and synchronize to the environment. This is not rocket science, and yet this is perhaps the most difficult one to do. Just look at the weekends. Who doesn't feel the need to sleep in on a Sunday? But nature doesn't know about Sundays. If your wake-up time on weekdays is 7 a.m., you should wake up at 7 a.m. on the weekends too. If you go to bed at 11, well, you should try to go to bed at 11 on the weekends too. Of course, in today's society, only a sociopath could do this every single day, but we can all aim to do it as much as possible.
Testicles.
And this brings us to caffeine. As a coffee lover and abuser, this was a hard pill for me to swallow, but regulating your caffeine intake is king when it comes to quality sleep. If you like caffeine, here are a few ground rules for you to follow. Delay your first coffee at least 90 minutes after waking. This allows your body to release all the necessary hormones and molecules responsible for alertness. A great side effect of this is that you can say goodbye to the early afternoon crash, which is a good reinforcer of this behavior. Additionally, you want your last coffee 8 to 10 hours before your normal bedtime. But I drink coffee on the evening and I sleep just fine. Do you really? In June 2023, Gardner and colleagues released a comprehensive meta-analysis combining the findings of 24 independent studies about the effects of caffeine on sleep. The paper concluded that sleep architecture is significantly disturbed by caffeine consumption. How significantly? An average of 45 minutes reduction in total sleep duration, a 7% reduction in sleep efficiency, and micro-awakenings throughout the entire night. The closer you are to bedtime, the worse these effects are on your sleep. According to the study, the last opportunity to drink coffee without it negatively impacting your sleep is around 9 hours prior to bedtime. With that said, it's time to summarize the main learning points from today's video. The circadian rhythm is your body clock. It's trying to optimize your biological processes such as metabolism, hormone release, and sleeping patterns. Your body doesn't know what time it is, so it relies on external cues such as temperature and light to synchronize your inner clock with the environment. We can improve our sleep by sending the right signals to our brain so the circadian cycle can maximize its effectiveness. In the mornings, view some sunlight, 5 to 10 minutes on sunny days, 15 to 30 minutes on cloudy days. Warm up your body, either through exercise or cold exposure. Delay your caffeine 90 to 120 minutes after waking, with the last coffee at least 9 hours before your bedtime. In the evenings, dim your lights, put away your electronics, or at least compensate by watching the descending sun. Cool down your body, Sleep in a cold, dark environment. Ensure regularity by going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. These tools all layer on top of each other. You can try to do them all or slowly incorporate them into your routine one by one. The more of them you get right, the better your sleep quality. You are human, you will mess it up. I mess it up all the time, but that's okay. Do your best, get back on track, and keep getting better at it. Good luck on your journey. Our health can be complicated, but the fact that you watched this far tells me that you care about yours. If you want to learn more about human health, check out this video about how flexibility relates to overall well-being. Otherwise, thank you for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.